touch your dick a little bit.
A pussy.
A pussy.
I mean
The great. They want to see the dick.
and who wants to see the dick?
You know, when we make out.
So it just depends on.
Welcome back to Flatulent Thoughts. I'm your host, Rosie, with...
Oh, you're not going to introduce me?
Oh, let's not do that.
This is payback, huh? This is your boy, Manny.
And I've turned the lights off because it's going to get hot in here.
Am I in trouble?
No, it's just you're going to be on the hot seat, so...
Okay.
All right, so I have a scenario.
Now, is this something you dreamt? This is something I'm in trouble? Did I do something in your dream?
No, it's just something I've been thinking about. Okay, so...
Lay it on me.
I've met a guy.
What?
I've met a guy, and I think he's my perfect match. I like him.
Is this a hypothetical?
This is a hypothetical.
Okay, let's put that out there first, because
This is
people
a
are like, well,
hypothetical.
guys, you just started this podcast. What the hell happened?
No, it's a hypothetical. So I've met a guy. I like him, and I want us to be together. I want us to have a relationship.
Okay.
Or I like you, and I want to see where it can go. Right? Not to put too many labels on it, but most likely I want us to be...
You found a love interest.
Serious. Doesn't have to be love. Just I want us to be serious. I want us to have a thing. Right? Okay. So...
How serious of a thing? Because the thing is just like...
It's a thing.
Like, you want to, like, one day, like, possibly marry this person?
I mean, why not, right? We're always thinking about...
Well, I want to know where you're getting... Like, I want to know...
So I met a guy. I like him. I want to take it to the next step, get a little serious.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just, you know, let us be us. Me and you, boyfriend or girlfriend, perhaps, right? Okay. So I'm doing all these things to show you that I like you, that I have interests. I may not have come out and said, hey, I want to be your girlfriend, but I'm doing all these things, and I'm around. You can count on me, whatever. At what point do you realize that I like this girl too? Or do you ever come to that decision that you may like this girl and you might want to take it the next step further? Is it something that she has to particularly say that she wants first? Or is the actions enough to justify a label? And
You're asking a lot of questions.
Well,
you
I'm
expect me to
putting it-
answer all these questions?
yeah,
Like,
because I'm putting it out there, right? So why does it take so much for a guy to just say, I like her too, I want to be with her? Why does it take the female to have to put it on the table before he can decide he's ready to roll?
I'm kind of like seeing where I can jump in on this.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
jump right in.
There's a lot. You're asking a lot, and when it comes to this, so I guess I'll. The first thing I would have to ask is, where did you meet this guy? Under what scenario did you meet this guy? Because
does that really matter?
I think so. I think for me, at least, from my perspective, and of course, then you're asking me this question because you want my perspective as far as like,
well, let's just
if
say
I was in
that
a given scenario, or if based on the men I know and the men, just my overall perspective of like what would happen in a scenario under my, like, you know, it would be, I would definitely have to understand where I met you. Because there's a difference.
Why does it matter? Because I just feel like we met.
Because
we hung out. We hung out a few. Maybe I've come to your house. Maybe you've come to mine. It's been a couple of months, and I feel like here's the next step, but I don't see that coming from you. Why? What am I doing wrong?
Again, I think.
What do I need to do to be noticed?
So for me, if I met you at the club, and I just met you, I'm not really trying to start anything with you. I may not. But the scenario in which we first met, and we first started talking, man started giving me some clues as to.
So whether it's the club or I met you walking down the street or we had classes together, I met you, we hit it off, we talked, we hung out a few times.
Now, when you say we hit it off,
we hit it off like we found a commonality.
now are you confirming that on both sides, or do you think just based on what you're feeling that you're now, because there's a difference.
Well,
you may be feeling something.
We've been hanging out. It's been a
So
couple
we've
of
been
months.
fucking.
Not necessarily. We've just been hanging out, maybe making out a little bit.
Okay, so
we
Netflix.
hung out. You've come to my house. I've come to yours.
Okay,
We've
I
been
met your
hanging
family.
out. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so I've been to your family parties, barbecues, whatever, right?
We hung out. It's been a couple of months.
I mean, it's a difference. I need to.
The next step would be for us to put a label on it and say,
Okay,
yeah,
so
we're
a
dating.
label like we're dating, we're girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay, so that's at the
So
stage.
that's, in my head, that's the stage.
And how long has
but
it
it
been going
doesn't
on?
seem, it's been a couple of months.
Okay, so 6 months, 7 months.
Let's say 6 months.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm ready for the next step, but it doesn't seem like it's evident on your side.
And you've brought it up to me. You've had this conversation with me already.
I probably haven't. Maybe I've given a couple of hints, but I'm not gonna go and say, "Hey, let's be boyfriend and
So I
girlfriend."
guess the first
because
question I would be concerned about is, what's going on? Have I revealed as a man? Have I revealed to you information about my personal life at that point? Like, do I have a child? Do I have a girlfriend? Do I have a wife? Do I have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
where is it at? Because you might be a
you
side chick.
haven't.
You might be a
because-
side chick.
Yeah, that's true, but you haven't because I'm still here, and I still think there's a chance that we can be together. So I don't know any of that stuff.
So wouldn't
I'm
it-
just trying to figure out.
So I think you should find out first before you start jumping to conclusions, because what his situation is, it might bar him from wanting to start a relationship with you, because it might just get too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have a wife, for example, and I just want a side chick, you have to be okay with whether or not you want to be a side chick or not.
So what if that's not the case? What
So if you
it's,
don't want to be a side chick, then what you
or
first,
that, there isn't necessarily anybody in the picture. You might have had exes, yes, but it's just us now, and maybe whatever happened in the past
So-
kind of scarred you or whatnot, but you just seem to be dragging your feet on putting a label on it. And why is that? Why is it so hard for guys to...
I'm a firm believer in, if you sit down with a person and you be like, hey, I'm going to ask you a question. What color is the sky? And that person turns around and says, oh, I don't want to talk about this right now. Why we always got to bring this up? And he says every answer in the book other than what the color of the sky is, that man or woman or whatever the person is bullshitting you. Because they don't want to tell you the real answer.
And why is that?
Because they probably have an ulterior plan that doesn't match up with yours. It's simple as that.
Why is it that, you will give me the time of day to hang out, we make out, I'm useful in certain senses, in certain instances, I'm good for certain things, but to just say you want to take it to the next step, and I'm not even saying like marriage or anything like that, I just mean for us to say we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we're going together, we're going steady. Why is that so hard? Like, why the games? Why not just come out and say, yeah, I want to give this a shot. Let's date.
I mean, for some men, it has to be situational. Like, maybe in his eyes, you're not that kind of material. Maybe he doesn't like you to the point where I want to then date you. You have to be, and some men don't want to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. Why? Because the moment we say, you know what, you may not be wifey material, you might be girlfriend material, what's going to happen next? The next is you're not going to give us the cookie. You're not going to date us no more. You're not going to fuck with us no more. So
But
it's like,
what's wrong with just saying that up front? Like, I'm not looking for a relationship.
because some women don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to continue living in this fantasy world of men telling you that you look the best when you kind of looking busted right now. Like, and let's be
I mean,
honest,
it's
between me and
nighttime,
you,
you know.
oftentimes it's very hard for me to say like, "Hey, you look kind of crazy right now," but sometimes I do, and sometimes even when I do say it very softly, it hurts your feelings.
But if you set the tone initially that you're not looking for anything serious, or even like, what does that mean? Because I think a lot of times, if a male tells a female, "I'm not looking for anything serious,"
The
but
woman
you
was
still want to fuck,
the woman was still.
but you still want to hit it.
I mean, does
We-
hitting it constitute taking something serious?
So I think I don't want to say for all females, but I would like to think that it's something about our pussies.
Or pussies.
Our pussies. It's something about that we hold to a standard.
And you should.
Such a put it on a pedestal as to say, well, and if you hit it, it signifies something. It should signify something. I mean, I gave you the cookie.
I mean, so I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but yeah, you gave me the cookie, but there are cookies everywhere. There's so many cookies, and granted, it's only your cookie, your unique cookie, but I think people just in general over-evaluate themselves a little too much, and don't realize that there are about 7 billion people on this earth. Like, if you don't give me the cookie, fine. There's going to be another person next door that can give me a cookie too. Like, so you have to be
Just
realistic.
going around taking all the cookies.
I'm just saying, like, this is being realistic. Like, you're not that important in the grand scheme of things.
Very important.
And that's what I'm saying. I might get in trouble because it's like, oh, what about self-esteem? And you should. No. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel good about yourself, but be realistic in what's the situation that you're in. Like, there might be some situation that nothing you do, nothing you can do will convince someone to be with you. I mean, your cookies may not just be good enough for that person. So, for example, like if you buy a cookie from, I don't know, like a really expensive cookie store, like the best cookie store ever, that cookie may not be the same as if you buy a cookie from the dollar store.
Right.
You know, the quality of it, the softness of it, the sweetness of it, it just might not be the same. And even though they're both considered cookies, they're both made of the same thing, the recipe is completely different. Now, I might be making some people hungry now because I'm thinking about cookies, but it's just the comparison of like it. I personally like some cookies from the dollar store. Like, it's just cheap. It's $1. It fills your belly. It works. But sometimes you want that, extra nice cookie. Like, you want that.
So what is it about, to using
I'm sorry. I just want to finish talking about the cookie.
There's enough.
Like, I'm just saying that some people out there may not be comfortable with eating that dollar store cookie. They just may not.
Yeah, but that's to say that, I guess in this scenario, like me or the female is just not that great enough, not that good enough.
It's just not. It's not
comparable to what?
To what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
might
how is
want
it
that
enough?
fancy cookie, right? But they're trying to settle with your Dollar Tree cookie. And I don't want. I'm really trying to be like not get myself in trouble here by saying that someone out there might have a Dollar Tree cookie, but it just means that you're not right for that person. You got to find that one man out there that's looking for that Dollar Tree cookie.
But she's only right enough for certain things, but
Right.
just not. So what's wrong with just saying, not in those words, because obviously that would scare her off and
Right.
hurt her feelings, but what's wrong with just saying, well, I don't want to, especially if I'm insinuating and I'm letting you know that I not exactly saying
You're
it, but
pushing.
just
You're
maybe
pushing.
my actions to let you know that I like you. Why even let it get that far to hang out with me and do all these things? Because obviously, I'm around, I'm looking for something. I mean, you're looking for something too, but I'm showing you that I like you.
I think
what's in it for him? I think it would be like it's a very important statement to make. Like, so you gave him pussy.
Well, no, not necessarily.
So in this area you haven't given him no pussy.
No. We make out, and maybe
So-
I touch your dick a little bit, but that's about it. Like, there's some making out involved, but hasn't been sex yet.
So do you feel at that point? Do you think that the male will have a certain desire to have sex with you at that point?
I mean,
Does he seem interested in having sex with you? Because me personally, I ain't waiting no 6 months. I think most dudes out there won't wait no 6 months to get no cookie.
Sure about that?
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
What, you want to bring something personal?
No, there's nothing personal.
okay,
This is hypothetical.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Because you're looking at me. You're
I'm
giving me
not
that look.
doing anything. The lights are off, so maybe it looks like I'm looking at you, but
I think that bubbly's getting you too bubbly.
I'm looking past you. Okay.
Oh, you're looking at that hypothetical man.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying,
I guess
6 months for no cookie. Bro, what are you doing?
But he's still
What we
hanging
talking
around,
about?
right? Because he's still hanging out. He's still.
See, I'd be
coming
concerned.
over.
See, as a friend, if I talk to that guy, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? 6 months? Like, what are you doing? Are you playing games?
But why is that? Why
You playing
is that
games.
so horrible? 6 months with no.
It don't take no 6 months.
Yeah,
First
but
of all,
why is that
after the
such
first
a-
kiss, you should know what you want. You want to fuck him or not? You should know.
Okay.
Now, if you
I'm not
want to
sure
fuck
why.
him, if you want to
Yeah,
fuck him,
I know.
fine,
I will.
fine. You wanna
But that
fuck him,
doesn't mean I'm
fine.
gonna give it out right
okay,
away
no,
because we
I'm not-
know what happens.
No, that's fine. You don't. I'm
You
not
know.
expecting you to do that. What I'm saying is that it should come from the man at that point. You haven't sealed the deal in 3 months.
But
2
why
months.
does having sex mean that we're sealing the deal?
You gotta seal the deal. That's the stamp on the motherfucking contract.
Why? When he might just run after he gets it.
But at least you know whether or not he wants you or not.
So why would I do all that to fuck
So you want 6 months of limbo versus 3 months of like, we did it, we have some fun, and then he's no
And
longer
then, okay,
interested
bye.
in me. He's not interested in me. He bounced. At least you have closure.
So then I have to have sex with you for you to let me know that you're done. So
No.
it's just only about
No. What I'm saying is that the intention of a man to keep staying around for 6 months,
it's just for pussy.
I would be suspect of that dude. Like, as a person,
So it may seem like, I find that sometimes with guys, it's like they don't know what they want right off the bat, right?
no.
Hold on.
We always know what
Hold
we
on.
want.
Right. You always want.
We want that
Pussy.
cookie. What are you talking about?
Fine. Besides that, you may not always know what you want, and it's like we have to teach you. We have to,
I think what it is that we want different things.
okay.
And for a man, what we want is not the same thing as a woman. Like, I think what we want is we want to
It
be.
just seems like maybe
we
you
wanna
want the
be-
same thing.
But ting
The
ting,
same thing.
ting ting, get.
The same things, but
You're still
takes
saying
you,
something weird over there. Ting, ting.
It takes you a while to realize that, or it takes you a while to get to that point. And why is that? Why are we playing games?
I mean, that's like.
And maybe
this is for
I
later
can
on in the
say-
conversation.
Hold
but
on, but maybe I can say that for a younger guy. But I see this happening with older guys. Like, you don't know what you want at this point in time. You're old. Hello, stop the games.
Again,
you're too old.
I think you're confusing two things.
I'm not
I think you're
confused,
confusing what woman wants versus what a man wants. A man only wants maybe like a handful of things, and this may vary between men, but I think top of the list is one thing: is a pussy, a woman that we can pretty much fuck, and that we like to fuck, and we compatible to fuck, right? So a woman to procreate, possibly, and not even, and sometimes kids is optional these days, but just to practice.
Let's practice.
So just someone to have love with. 2, relaxation. Something we can go work, come back home, and not be fucking bothered. Okay? And every now and then,
at what point
a
do you
sandwich.
want to be bothered?
And a
Because
sandwich.
the
But-
reality is, it's not gonna be all copacetic and just, yeah, I'll make you a sandwich and let's just, play with each other and bust a nut and that's it. At what point do you get down to the real conversation?
Which is what? What is the real conversation? Marriage?
Well, I need something from you as well. It's not just that, okay, you'll get pussy and that'll be it, but I need something from this.
You're perfectly
as
right.
well.
You're perfectly right. But see, this is the game and this is the dance that people and couples have to do. That you have to, as a female, have to, and just for our listeners out there, that just when we say female male, it's not just always about female male. Obviously, there's relationships every out there. But when your partner is with you, you're constantly doing this dance of like you want some things, they want certain things, and you're kind of playing this dance of like you kind of pull their arm, you twist their arm just a little bit to get what you want, which is, let's say you want to marry the person because you want that financial security,
or just security,
or you want
somebody.
you want that, make sure I get that, get that will, you know what I mean, about to die and shit.
You just want somebody.
Okay, but you want a marriage, you want to make sure that it gets written in paper that this is forever. So a man is perfectly happy going this rest of his life never marrying you and just being with you. Now, that doesn't give you a sense of security. Obviously, kind of like, this guy could just leave up anytime and I'll be here by myself. So you kind of got to secure yourself.
Happens regardless. Marriage is not going to,
take
away from that.
But there's some sense of security when it comes to marriage and paperwork and all that stuff. So sometimes you want that. Also, sometimes you want a man to be relied on. So let's say you want to fix that sink or that plumbing or that. And
it's just having a partner around.
Right.
But my thing is, the biggest question is,
and
I don't know if I've really hit the nail on the big question.
Hold on. You do that. I think between us two, like when I come here sometimes, I'm super lazy. I don't want to do certain things. But you have your methods of getting me to do shit. You will either not give me pussy, which is like the last or the first result, depending on the situation, or you will nag me to death. Like saying certain things that will like you say some real hurtful stuff. Like, and not hurtful like personally, like you'll start saying like you're a mama's boy. Like you start saying like, oh, you can't do it because what? Because your mom's not here? Huh? I bet you if your mom call you, you get up real quick and do whatever you need to do.
No, I don't say something
but
like
you
that.
know, will say certain things that will
to get you to move.
Right. And that's your way of knowing like, okay, I know I need to do these certain steps to get him to do what he needs to do to satisfy me.
That sounds mad calculating. And it don't really be like that.
But I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say that I think in a relationship, you have to do certain things to motivate or to, and it sometimes seems like motivation. I mean,
just a reality check.
Yeah, but you have to do what you got to do.
Okay.
And I think between the couple, it doesn't matter what it may sound to other people outside of the couple, but it is what it is. Just get what you need to do to get what you need from the other person. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
And I get up, I do what I need to do, right? And the whole time I'm doing it, I'm just like, and I'm like saying certain things under my breath, but I'm doing it because at the same time I hate the fact that you are doing that. You said what you said, and now I'm here doing this, the very thing I didn't want to do.
Doing.
Like the very thing I didn't want to do, and I'm trying to think within the last couple of days if it's something that
don't do, just do,
like that I knew that I didn't want to
do,
but do, and that you made me do it,
do,
but I didn't want to do it,
do.
Anyway, what were we talking about? I'm lost. I lost my train of thought.
So much do.
I'm like doo all over this,
do,
all over this track. But it's just doo everywhere.
We were talking about, maybe it doesn't have to be marriage. It could just be wanting to have somebody by your side that you could depend on.
I mean, you're thinking, we're really talking about like stage one of like just saying, hey, that's my girlfriend.
Right. And is that scary? I mean, yes, it might be scary for some people to put a label on things, but I find that
Listen, unless
for
that guy,
guys,
unless that,
it just always
unless
seems,
that
hold on,
person,
it just always seems like a lot of games have to be played before you can settle down and be like, yeah, that's my girl. That's my little shorty right there. That's shorty. That's my honey love.
I know some people may be ashamed. Some people may feel a little, you know.
But I can understand when it's like high school stuff and, you know, little kid stuff. But when you're a grown
But some people don't.
ass
Some
man-
people don't ever leave that stage though.
But what is the games? And then, okay, so maybe it isn't what you want. You don't want to be with the person. But why are you leading them on? Why not just say,
Because maybe you
specifically
still
that?
want to. Maybe you still want the cookie. Maybe you do.
I
Maybe
mean,
you still
you're going to
want
go through all that trouble just to maybe get some pussy? I mean, it just doesn't. And when I say all that trouble of having to listen to her, you know, reminding you of like, well, hey, when you're going to commit to this, or hey, am I your girl? Or, you know,
I mean, if you
that's a lot of trouble.
if you do all this reminding and you do all this nagging, but you'd still turn around and do everything that I want you to do, then I think the person you fucking up is you, not the man or not the other person, because you're still giving them what they want, and you're not getting that reciprocal, involvement from the other person.
Well, you know, sometimes
It's a give and take relationship. It has to be.
sometimes you tend to maybe fall for that trap as well, because you hope that maybe you can convince him otherwise, or maybe, you know.
I mean, don't get me started with that. Like that's like a pet peeve of mine when you hear stories about like, well, the relationship wasn't working out and the person went ahead and got pregnant by this fella for the sole purpose of, oh, I'm just gonna have if I have a baby by him,
I mean, maybe
he's
you
definitely not
think-
gonna leave me.
Yeah.
That's just crazy talk.
But I'm not even talking that far. I'm just saying, as far as, well, you seem to like me. We hang out. But when it comes to just putting a label on it, or just saying, hey, come hang at my house, or let's take it to the next step of like, yeah, you my girl, or maybe you've given a little hint.
You don't want to put a ring on that finger.
Not even putting a ring, just like maybe
Well,
saying it in
a
public.
philosophical ring.
Maybe saying it in public to other people. Like between you and me, it's by the way, I'm opening some cookies. No, but between you and me, maybe you'll say like, yeah, you're my girl. But
Again,
when
that
it
sounds like
comes-
high school stuff.
but it's still the games that.
And that's one thing. Like if I bring you around my friends and I'm just like, let's say I'm like 40, right? And we go hang out and some of my friends come out and they look at me like, hey, who's this? Like, oh, this is my friend. Ain't no 40-year-old friends gonna look at me like, that's your
Yeah,
friend? What?
I mean,
Fuck you
it
mean?
might just be your friend. Yeah, that's not out of the ordinary. But my point is just,
Listen, at my age,
why
if
why
I see a
play
dude,
the games?
hold on. If
You
I see a
know-
dude that's a friend or associate, and I bump into him, he's at lunch or he's at whatever.
I mean, it could just be a friend. It don't
Yeah,
have to
but I'm
be
still
a-
thinking, I'm like, oh, you trying to hit that?
No, that might just be the youngster point of view. Like
No,
you
it's not a
see-
young. No, that's not. If I bump into a dude and he's in whatever
That's
he's
like
doing,
what the kids say. Like, "Oh, that's your girlfriend."
no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's your friend. Nice to meet you. I talk to you. Yo, homie, I'll talk to you later. Blah, blah, blah. Like, and we'll talk. But when I walk away, I'm gonna give him that look like, good luck trying to hit that.
I guess
like-
that's you.
No, I think that's most men. We'll probably look at each other like, oh, you trying to hit that? You trying to hit that? We trying to evaluate that. We're like, you trying to hit that? I'm like, oh, shorty bad. Yeah, you trying to hit that.
Shorty bud, please.
So it's always that. It's always for us amongst unspoken language is always that.
I guess a point that you raised, which is a good one, is what does that say about the female herself or the person themselves who's really trying to establish the relationship to the next level.
If it's going on 6 months and all you've been doing is giving 100%, all of you, and that person still has not reciprocated nothing back, or
so
maybe
they give you
they've
a
been
little
slow.
bit.
They've
Yeah.
been slow to react. But if it's not at the level that you're comfortable with, maybe you just sit down and be like, "Yo, why are you playing games?"
Well, you know what happens is that most times you remove yourself a little bit, and then when they realize that you've removed yourself and you're not giving them that time of day, then they come and do just a little bit of something to put the little, do like a little salt bay.
I think
just to put a little
the
salt
Salt
on
Bae?
it, and reel you back in, and just to let you feel like, I do want you, and I'm gonna do this little bit to show you that I do, and then we're right back to playing.
I
the
think a
game.
person should value themselves a little higher, though. I think if you want a certain aspect, you have to set a criteria of like, this is how much it will satisfy me.
But sometimes you hear stories of people like, I chased this girl or I chased this guy, for this amount of time, and then finally they gave me the time of day.
I mean, I have the perfect story for that.
Do you?
I have the perfect story for that.
Okay.
You want me to tell you my story?
No.
No?
Is it about me?
Yes.
You had to chase me?
Yes. Do you want me to tell the story or not?
No.
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 No. I'm telling anyways.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
I'm telling it.
No.
So, when I first met you, right, you put me in the friend zone.
Did I?
Yes, you did. You put me in the friend zone, and I was in that friend zone, and I don't recall, I mean, my memory's getting a little fuzzy, but if I remember being in that friend zone for a good year or two.
We kind of lost a little.
No. We was on and off. And we keep having conversation. I'm on the phone with you like, yo, what's up with you?
What's up,
And you was
girl?
like, oh, I'm about to go on this date. I remember one conversation that really hurt my feelings. That's when I knew, like, it was like the dagger in the heart when I was in the friend zone. Then you was like, I kind of met this guy. He kind of Spanish looking. And, it felt like you was describing me. He got long hair. He sometimes braids his hair. And, I kind of like him, but I'm not sure
Don't
about
say
him.
any names.
I don't remember his name.
Okay,
Why would
just
you think
say-
I would remember his name?
I'm just saying, don't say no names.
His name is fucking James.
James.
And
What kind of
you-
Spanish person named James?
I don't know. That's what's in my head. I'm pretty sure it's not James, but that's the hatred I have. That name, James.
Sorry to all the Jameses out there.
No, fuck James.
Okay. Fuck
Anyway,
James.
so then you come out of nowhere, and I'm thinking, I'm in my head like, oh shit, I'm about to
It's
end.
about
I'm
to
about
be
to.
me.
And she come out like, yeah, and then a week later you talking about, oh yeah, I'm about to go on a date with him. I'm like, wait, hold on, we scheduled some shit. What the fuck are you talking about? And then you come out there with his name is James. I was just like, what? The fuck you talking about? And in my pride, I didn't want to show it. I was like, oh man, congratulations. You know what I mean? Well, we'll talk sometime. But I remember hanging up that phone. I was like, I literally did a middle finger to the phone. I was like,
It's like, I'm
fuck
done.
you. And I said every bad word in my lexicon at the time.
Girl. Fuck you, girl.
Like, I called
Nice
you B,
girl.
I called you C, I called you the whole alphabet. I was just like, but then I took a step back and I'm like, what went wrong? What happened? And somehow I realized, like, oh shit, I got in the friend zone. Like, somehow I got stuck in there. So
but even using that as a perfect example of where it kind of took a little bit of rope pulling, right? I'm doing this like milking cow motion right now.
you look like you just jerking off two dudes. That's what you're looking at either. You're like, come here, guy. To jerk you off.
One dick, two dicks. One dick, two dicks. No. It's a perfect example of how there was a little bit of tug of war. There was a little bit of back and forth.
And we
then
used to talk for
ultimately-
hours.
Yes. But then ultimately, look where we are now. So in that sense of like, he or she's holding on. That person.
I mean, I want to finish my story though.
The story is done.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, to be continued. Then.
It's done. No, it's done. So she may think like, if I put this much effort into it, this might be my reward. And ultimately, maybe, you know, I can get this person. But it may or may
so
not.
So the reason why I wanted to tell the story, I remember now,
Mm-hmm.
it's that you
Now
gotta
you
change your
remember.
approach. You gotta change your approach. If you've been doing something the same way for a certain amount of time and you haven't gotten the results you want, you need to change up your game. You need to don't be predictable. Change it up.
But so
and even if your
taking
goal
that into consideration, where you've pulled back, and then that the other person will realize that you've pulled back and say, "Oh shoot."
Okay. So
Damn.
after the first time that happens, you fall right back into the spot again. You have to realize, you have to go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, so I tried pulling back.
So what do you do? Because I may not be able to grasp that ideology and come up with a different approach, because I've tried pulling back, and then I pull back and maybe not answer and ignore a couple texts or calls and whatnot. And then, you know, they do come back and they do something, and then you say, okay, let me try again to give them a chance. And then you do,
I think at the end of the road, it's all about
which road?
how far are
This
you
road?
willing to work towards this relationship before you get on the right track. So there's going to be up and downs in every relationship you start. There's going to be some rough patches that you have to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if those rough patches takes a lot of fucking effort to get back on track, you have to be okay with that as a person. Like, am I willing to spend this much energy every single time the train gets off track to get it back on? Because if your answer, you look in the mirror, if that answer is no, then maybe you need to take a step back. Like, listen, this person's not right for
Well,
me.
your answer might most likely be yes, right? Because this is where we're at right now. We're trying to figure out what the hell.
But think about it. If it's taking 6 months just to get a person to say, yeah, we're dating, is that something you want to really consider about, is this person right for me? Because it's taking 6 months and the person's not even trying to put a finger on it. I mean, a finger on it.
Finger in it?
Most literally.
It's going to be some
that
finger banging.
That might be the most literal sense slip up in this podcast so far. You don't even want to put a finger in you. Like, come on, like.
Oh, he wants to put the finger in you, but
But my thing is, like, you know, come
The
on,
big
6
finger.
months. Like, it don't take a dude 6 months to realize, yo, I want to date this girl. I want to.
so
it
then
don't take-
it's just
no.
a matter of he don't really like you.
He got no. What I'm saying is that he has some ulterior motives.
Mm-hmm.
He has
Which
a
is
different.
what, just to use
he has
you?
a different plan. He just
And
has a different
maybe
plan.
get some pussy.
Maybe maybe just he wants
and-
casual.
but not really.
Right.
So-
he just wants some casual joint. He just wants to, you know.
So what would I mean? I know that,
And this
you
has
can-
nothing to do with dudes. I think this has to do with certain people in general.
So I know you can possibly ruin your chances of even getting that. But I really believe that being upfront and being honest to begin with, just to say, well, this is what I want, would help, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah, you may not
Yeah, but if you
have
got
the person stick around and you can't use them, but
I think
you think
we want to sit here and say that everyone should be honest, everyone should be nice citizens, and be like, hey, you know, I just want to.
nice citizens.
But this is not the world that we live in. We live in a world of deception. We live in a world of lies,
wouldn't
deceit.
it get tiring to play so many games, like to try to keep up?
First of all, that's half the
with-
fun.
I guess
That's like half the fun of, like, it's like spy
But
versus
it-
spy. Like,
it may
I
seem
hide.
like
I
you
hide
would
certain
be so
things.
annoyed with always having to put up with the person saying, "Yo, so."
But
when
it's
you gon-
exciting.
when you gonna commit. Like,
It's
when
exciting.
when you're gonna say, like, we're dating. Like,
When
when it's
you're-
gonna be more than
It's
just.
exciting when you're hiding all your skeletons and you're kind of like, I didn't want this person to find out. So every time a person comes in the room, you're kind of like moving all those skeletons in one closet so they don't find out. It's part of the fun. And then finally, when they do find out, you're like sitting there like, damn, how do I explain this shit to the person? Just because I have 12-inch dildos don't mean I'm crazy. Like, I'm not crazy. I just like, deep
12
penetration.
inches.
I'm just saying. Like maybe I just like to hit
Put
my
the finger in it.
yeah, put the finger in it. You know what I mean? So certain things it's part of the fun of meeting a new person and like slowly letting them know who you are and slowly revealing the skeletons and and the skeletons have like a negative connotation to it. The skeletons can mean like things that you don't let everyone know.
And that might be
And that dude might have some real crazy skeletons that he just do not want you to know under no circumstance. So you have to recognize that, like, damn, is this something he don't really want me to know?
But
like,
if you're telling them, like, hey, man, I'm an open book, like,
you want to what?
read me. Read me.
Read me.
Read me. I'm an open book. I want to know. I'm here for you. Tell me something. And you're just so closed off.
Tell me something good.
I'm surprised you actually got the lyrics right.
Every now and then I get them.
Mm-hmm. So I just think it would be best for maybe both sides, to be honest, because I did open up with saying,
I think
women.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're excused. Thank you. So it would be in the best interest for both parties to just be upfront and honest, right? For the person who, what?
Lame.
Yeah. Why would it be lame?
Because you're talking in a perfect world, in a perfect scenario.
Yes.
In a perfect scenario, no one's honest.
Start off with lying and starting off on a bad note.
I completely agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
And I think we've established that in this relationship. But does not mean we don't lie to each other. I mean, I lie about the dumbest shit sometimes.
You sure do.
Like, you ask me, did you flush your toilet? I'll look at you like, yes. Even though I did. But it was like somehow it makes me feel like I want to lie. Almost like it's exciting. Like, if I lied to her, will she find out?
Oh, yeah.
And you
I'm
never.
so not going to find out.
But see, that has backfired because now you don't believe me anything I say. Like, if we like, did you wash that cup with soap? Well, no. At first, did you wash that cup?
An extra element of surprise.
Did you wash that cup? I'd be like, yes, with soap. And I'm going to give you the look. Yes.
With the sponge on the abrasive side?
Yeah, it's multiple levels. So it's like it starts. But no,
what I'm saying is, I think
in a perfect scenario, no one's honest.
On both sides, but on both sides, because what's in my scenario that I put out there, I was saying that the person is not necessarily saying they want to take it to the next step. Like they put all these little hints. And, willing to do all these things to help you out and show you that, hey, I want to take it to the next step. But
I think
they're not actually saying.
I have one better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being honest, right? Even though, that's always should be the goal. You should be honest about what you want, what you expect from the person, and everything, right? That always should be it. But when that fails, you need to have a backup plan. My backup plan would be this for every person who's listening out there.
To back that ass up.
Value yourself. What is your value? What is your expectation of your worth? If your worth is 6 months, stick to it. Don't bend it for no one. It's like Scarface. All you have in this world is something you and your balls or something. You don't break it for no one. You and your
balls.
Your word and your balls.
I can see it.
Wait, some shit like that. Wait, what?
No, nothing.
Oh. All you have is your word and your balls, and you don't break it for no one. So think of it that way. All you have in this world is your worth and whatever, and your balls.
Your boobs.
Just try not to break them for no one. And that means no one. So if you have a limit of 6 months of like, in 6 months, if this mofo hasn't, put a ring or a finger in this, then I'm good. I'm gonna move.
6 months he hasn't fingered this,
and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna find someone else. And you need to stick to it. Don't bend yourself backwards for no one. It don't matter how good his dick is, or his puñaña.
His puñaña?
I mean her puñaña. Maybe he has a puñaña. I don't know. Whatever. This is a crazy world we live in nowadays. But whatever whatever equipment they got you hooked on it, which is sometimes hard because it's like crack. You need to put a value on yourself and be like, listen, this is my value. I'm worth this much. I'm not a Dollar Tree cookie. I am a gourmet macadamian cookie. I don't know if that's a good cookie or not. I think
It's a nice one.
I'm just, whatever. I'm a gourmet cookie. And that's your value. And no one could tell you
cookie.
nothing different other than
I
yourself.
got a 5-star cookie.
And if you do that, then people will start respecting you for that.
That's true. I definitely agree with that.
Because if you treat yourself like a dollar store cookie, then you can't get mad when other people treat you that way.
True.
You can't.
True.
And that's just the honest truth. I think a lot of people these days do that. They wait for other people to confirm their worth. And for example, I don't even have an example. I don't have an example. It's just like, but if I was in this relationship and I waited for you to confirm my worth, we'd be here all fucking day. We'd be whole day. Like you say so much fucked up shit about me that if I really depended on you to tell me my worth, I would be in a world of trouble. I would. But I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of.
His worth.
So you can say whatever the fuck you say, and sometimes it kind of burns. Sometimes it kind of burns because you know how you have a way with words.
He has
You have
worth.
You have a way with words, and it kind of like this bitch. Like she actually said that about me. Like,
Worth with girth.
okay, you getting? I think you're tired. I think we need to go to bed. But yeah, so it's like, and it turns around. Like I try to instill that in you in a way where it's like, I don't want you to depend on me to tell you what your worth is.
Oh, boo-boo, I know my worth.
I want to make sure that you know what your worth is. And if whatever your worth is, I want to live up to those standards. Now, it ain't easy to live up to those standards because you got some crazy standards of like...
She got some big worth.
Like, your standard sometimes gets to the point where it's like, F this, like, I'm out of here. Like, it's too much shit. So sometimes you got to, bring down your worth. Yeah, bring down your worth just a little bit. I'm like, okay, he needs a little help. Let me just give him a cookie. Let him feel like he's getting there.
And put a finger in it.
And then once he puts a finger in it, I'll raise it up. So he can keep getting higher in his growth. Because sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to kind of like bring your worth down a little bit so he can feel good. I'm like, oh, you are finally here. And then when he feels like he's there, like I'm meaning his worth, you jack it up another level. Like, nah.
And what is that going to do? I'm not bringing down anything.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just, it's an idea here. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're having trouble if you get in trouble with him even telling you that you're his girl or my man's or whatever, you got a lot of problems.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. You might just have a problem there. And I think it is important, though, to examine yourself. And again,
this goes back to the thing.
I think it is important to examine yourself and see, is my time worth it for this individual?
That didn't need a pause.
Yeah, I had to pause it a little bit. Is it worth my time to put so much time into doing it and doing it and doing it?
Doing it now. Hello, Cool J. I'm doing it.
No, you're not. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. But is it worth my time and effort put into something if I don't know?
I'm going to do the clap. I'm doing the clap. If he's still around 6 months and he still don't got the cookie, you got to understand that his motivation somewhere different. Like any dude out there is waiting 6 months for a cookie. Like I'm suspect.
Maybe he's just trying to figure out
himself, I don't,
or
still, that's
figure
suspect.
Out options.
Maybe he doesn't
keeping his options.
Maybe
open.
he doesn't want a sexual relationship. Maybe he just wants someone to talk to. Maybe he's going through some shit. he just want to, hey, listen, hey, shorty, I just want to like have a conversation with someone. I just
So
want
why
to.
don't you just say that?
Because maybe he's scared.
I
He
wanna
don't want to look like a, he want to look like a herb.
But
He
what
want
if
to.
he just never talks too? Like,
And some women don't want that. Imagine if imagine
please.
what.
If
I just
I'm
want to have a
interested-
conversation. I'm like, dude, please. Like, what you talking about right now? Because you making no sense. You want this cookie or not? I just want to talk. I just, I want to have a
But
conversation.
I think sometimes 9 times out of 10, or maybe 8 times out of 10, 7 maybe, because the world is changing lately. You might find someone
what?
who's 7 times out of 10.
What are we talking about?
You might
You're
find
making me do
someone.
math.
You might find someone who is willing to listen. Because I would say most times for females, if you can get a guy who wants to open up and have a conversation before,
But if that's what you want,
introducing,
but that's not what your scenario was.
Yeah, my scenario wasn't about sex. My scenario was about
You want a relationship.
putting it to the next level. But I think for this person, they would be willing to listen to you if it would take that to then seal the deal.
But some people are selfish. They want to talk about their problems.
Mhm.
They want to make sure that they put their problems onto you, like almost like they want a counselor, but they don't want to pay for it. So it's like, oh, I just want you to listen to all my problems, and I want you to help me with my problems, but I don't want to help you. I'm not interested in you, what your problems are. Like, you could keep all that. Like, some people are like that. Some people are selfish. So you have to understand what the person you're talking to, what they're going on through, like what their plan is,
what they going on to?
what they're going on through. Like, what is it that they're planning? And you have to break that plan down. Like, what is it? And how do I fit into this plan? How do I assist them? Or how do I, whatever the case may be. So you got to figure that out. If you want a relationship where you just talk and casually like a friend, then okay, be that. But then if you want a relationship, which a relationship is eventually you fuck.
I mean, I feel like this is the only two things you put together.
The caveat of a relationship is that you fuck.
I don't think so.
I mean, there gotta be some fingering
part-
somewhere.
It's part of it, but it's not like
It's not the defining moment. I think it's I think it's like the pivot of like, once that happens, like then the next step will be like, okay, so we study now? Like, what was going on? This is like a one-time thing? Like, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing? But if it's been 6 months and you even haven't reached that stage yet, like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing? What is this? Are we like platonic friends? Are we
But I
trying
guess
to be more than that?
too, that's the question that needs to be answered for the person who's trying to figure out what the next step would be. For him,
Is that
for
the person who met the perfect match, or is the person?
yeah, like it's my perfect match, but I don't see that I'm your perfect match, or I don't see that. And when I say perfect match, I'm just saying that we're compatible. Maybe not perfect match, but we match, and I would like to take it to the next step.
So I think. I guess I know this is like my perspective, but just to get some clarification.
Oh, now you're looking for clarification?
Yeah. If you meet your perfect match, at that stage, do you feel like you want to give him a cookie or give them a cookie? Like, is it? Do you?
Yeah.
Would you like consider
why
that?
not?
So, what would you want as a indication that you would then confirm and do that? Like, what would you want for me to show you in order for me to obtain your cookie? Am I making sense here? Like, I don't feel like I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Like, what would that be?
I guess I was speaking more from the point of view of, maybe I am insinuating, are we a couple? And because I know I mentioned before that I'm, you might do things that you're indicating that you would like to take it to the next step, but you haven't exactly said it. But maybe you do mention a little bit like, what are we? Like, what are we doing here? And you've gotten a little bit of blowback or uncertainty from that the other party. So that's where the question comes in of like, what are you doing wrong, or why play the games, or I think you are my perfect match, or I think you're a good match and I want to take it there. So what's holding you back from taking that leap with me?
I don't know how to answer that, because if you decide, okay, this guy is a good match for me, I think it has to come from your side of things of like, oh, I'm gonna let him fuck me.
But you say that as if that's the thing that's gonna solidify and turn the key.
I think it's a very important thing to understand.
But not when it might just turn into, okay, I got it. All right.
But wait, no. I think I'm speaking from the girl side of things now, and this might be a little important. What if you're not compatibly sexual? What if his equipment's too small? What doesn't satisfy you? His personality might be there,
but I think for the most part,
looks may be there.
She may be willing to compromise that. Because
if he comes up with a micro whatever.
So I would hope 6 months. You kind of seen it before.
But you haven't
talk about
done it.
You're perfect. We ain't do it. But I did mention a little bit of tugging the rope.
You're doing a lot of things that viewers are not.
Yeah,
seeing
I mentioned a little bit of tugging the rope. You've seen it, but you guys haven't had sex, but you've seen it. You better see it.
So
you can't be putting in all this time for no.
He just instant.
Yeah, maybe because he waited so long. Yeah, but
assuming that you're the only one.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if he got no time for you, if he calling you calling him, he like, oh, I'm at work right now, or if you are hitting him up and he's not answering back to you.
I mean, I didn't even put that into the equation.
I mean,
that's a possibility.
Yeah,
but I just mean,
people who are playing games when it comes to
do all that stuff.
6 months. Yeah, they do all this stuff. Like they don't answer your text right away. And don't get me wrong, ladies,
you could really
fellas,
be busy.
Yeah, ladies and fellas.
Psych.
Like if you text someone and they don't hit you right back up, calm down.
First of all,
like
if you text, not in this day and age,
right,
where the phone is just always in your face.
I get mad. I'm not gonna front.
Okay,
like I get
if
mad.
you text someone, best believe they seen it. They just didn't want to answer you at that moment.
But now, see, this is how technology gets us fucked up. Because now, when you send a text, you get a check for it's sent and a double check if they read it. So now I got me. Sometimes when I send you
that's
text,
if you turn that option on.
Right. I didn't even know about the option that you could turn off. But sometimes I send you text, I get mad. I'm like, bruh, she read this text. Why she hasn't responded back? Like, what's going on?
Busy.
And I be catching myself sometimes like, I'm not gonna hurt her. Cause
but it's more so of, I know you saw the text. Why didn't you respond? So it's kind of like a slap in the face to the person. It's like, I don't have time.
But some people are like that just because like they send you a text and then if you didn't get an answer back, or like if you see the three dots, and then they stop, then be like, hold up,
snap.
hold up.
No, oh hell no.
So all these stuff happens in the interaction. But again, if he's playing, if it's 6 months in and he's playing around, meaning you're gonna have to, again, this goes back. What is your value? Is your value to play this game? You need to drop it like a hot potato, keep moving. It's men out there. They're lined up.
Like a hot
You just
potato.
need to put your cookie up in the air. You see a line for days of dudes just sort of like, just ready for the interview.
Can I have a sample?
Just interviewing. There's like, hi, my name is Jaquan. And
James.
And James. And, I am a good man. I am, and then he's going
to. I want your cookies, girl.
Men can't do that. We can't put our sausage up there and then have a flock of women just ready to get our sausage.
That's not true.
Come on, it's much harder.
No, I don't think so. But whatever. That's another.
I think most people like tacos more than they like cooked sausages.
Huh?
Huh? I'm just saying. I think more people like tacos than they like sausages.
Like, talking about
you eat those
now?
breakfast sausages? I don't eat those.
Like the patties?
No, the sausages, the links.
Oh, those are gross.
Exactly. But have you ever said that about a taco? Never. And no matter what taco it is, it's delicious.
Never had a fish taco.
I don't think that counts as a taco.
It's a taco.
No, I don't think it's a taco. A taco has to have a meat, has some kind of vegetables.
Do you know they also call
What?
a taco? What they also call a taco?
An actual taco? What we talking about? Pussy? We talking about tacos? What we talking about?
Exactly, right there.
Because I'm talking about a taco.
I'm talking about tacos too.
I don't know. We just looking at each other. What are we talking about here? Okay, going back.
Yeah,
But
but
ladies, fellas, value yourself.
it is a good point to raise. If it's been such a long time where you need to figure
6
out
months is
or
a
ask
half
the
a
question.
year.
If you have to ask the question, you probably already know the answer.
It's a half a year. You waited
Yeah.
half a year.
Yeah.
What were you
yeah.
doing? What are you doing? What are you playing games for half a
I
year?
guess I was curious to know.
And you've been slobbing. You've been.
I mean,
sharing
maybe
spit.
Yeah.
You've been sharing each other bacteria.
I think I just wanted to have an idea
You've
of
been
like.
sucking them off, or
Okay,
you've been
okay,
sucking you
okay,
off,
okay,
and it's
okay,
like,
okay,
what are we doing here?
Okay. Put a pin in it. I think I was just curious to know, why the games, especially when, you're not a youngster. You got time to be playing around and trying to try all kind of different tacos. But, why the games? Why string someone along? And I know, okay, maybe it's better that way because you get something from it in that sense. You could keep stringing them along and still have your cake and eat it too.
Assuming I was getting the cookie, but in this scenario, he's not even getting the cookie. So I don't even understand like what he's getting out of it, unless what he wants is that companionship, that conversation with no strings attached. You not nagging him because you're not his girl. Because some women,
But you always
some people, when they get that title of like I'm your man's husband, whatever, they start acting like they super people. Like, hey, now you're gonna have to do this. Now you have to do this.
Now you're gonna have to put your finger in it.
You know what I mean? Like, and some people just like, slow down. I just want to chill. Like, I just want to chill. Like, what we doing here? It just is what it is. But again, this goes back to a person's value. What is your value? What do you want? And put that on the forefront. If the person's not giving you what you want, keep moving. Keep pushing. Simple. Put them on the back burner. Keep pushing.
It's hard. And then,
It's
it's hard when you're in it to
sometimes-
just decide you're gonna get up and move away unless something drastic happens that forces your hand. And
Life
then you
is short.
choose.
Life is so short.
to
You can't be
take that
going
choice.
around wasting time with people who are not willing to. Give you what you
Ideally, yeah. You know. But some things are easier.
want. Like, let you
said
turn
than
around and
done.
not give me what I want, yo. We're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah. I like
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
that happen.
yeah.
But anyway, though, this has been another episode of Flatulent Thoughts. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye.